listen up. This is the Music Scene Podcast. I am your host, Dave Cudrak. Today on the show, we've got an incredible musician out in the LA area. His name is Austin Thomason. You can see him on Instagram, Facebook, everything. His handle is Austin on Guitar. Young guy, super talented. He's in the process of putting a band together, and he's got some great music coming out. We get 2 songs from him at the end. Awesome, awesome songs. I think you're really going to dig them, so make sure you stick around for those. What's been going on lately? I recently had a conversation with somebody who had asked me why I'm not doing kind of the personal updates in my intros. And they just kind of fell off the radar. I've been so busy with trying to get episodes edited and out, and I just haven't been able to do it. So, apologies for that. I don't know if you guys are really into hearing kind of my personal updates, but I'm happy to share my life with you if that's something you want to hear. Let me know in the comments or whatever. Quick little update. As some of you know, I took a cat in off the street back in February. His name's Taco. He is doing fantastic. We got him neutered. He had some complications after the neuter, so I had to take him back to the vet, and they had to kind of redo some things. He got an infection and stuff, but he's fine now, clean bill of health, and super happy, super snuggly too. I'm really surprised with how well behaved this cat is. Since he was on the street for probably the first year of his life. The vet estimated that he's about a year and a half old, and I know he's been wandering around my apartment complex for at least a year. So anyway, he's doing great. Gets along with my dog really well, so all good there. Wanted to also make you aware that on July 12th, Leanne Tersey and some other women around the South Jersey area are putting on an all-female showcase for, I believe it's all original music or mostly original music. It's going to be held at the Verge VFW down in Woodbury, July 12th. It starts at 3 and goes until 10 p.m. And it's called Fierce and Fretted. And it's all female artists, mostly original music, if not all. Apologies for not knowing. But that's going to be a good time. They did one previously at Death of a Fox Brewing Company, and the turnout was really well. They're doing it again, but this time at the Verga VFW, and doing it for much longer. So you're going to have much more broad spectrum of musicians that are going to be there. And also, my kids are going to make a little debut there as well. I've got 2 daughters, ages 9 and 11. And come July 12th, they're going to do a little 15 or 20-minute set. It should be fun. We're not taking it too seriously, but it's going to be fun for them to get up there on stage. Some of you have probably seen my girls sing with me at various open mics. This will be the first time they actually have their own little set. It's only going to be 15, 20 minutes, so we don't take too much time away from everybody else. But they're looking forward to it. So we're putting together our set list and trying to figure out what they're going to do. I'm going to play guitar for them, and then they're going to sing. So it should be fun. It should be a good time. I do have a new song coming out called The Alchemist. It's coming out this Friday, June 20th. And it's all instrumental. It's an acoustic, just me, an acoustic guitar, and then I've got a little kick drum in there to help keep the beat. And again, it's called The Alchemist. I really dig it. It's very much a John Butler kind of vibe, similar to The Ocean, but nowhere near a copy because that's way too good of a song for me to try to replicate. But and then also the week after that, June 27th, I'm putting out an all acoustic covers album. I've got 10 songs, and that'll be available on all platforms June 27th. It's called it's just called Acoustic Covers Volume 1. It might be solo acoustic covers. I can't remember what I'm calling it. But anyway, it's just look up Dave Cudrak on all platforms and you'll see it. It's available June 27th. So, I'm excited for that. That's always kind of been like a bucket list for me to try to put out an album of cover songs. So I hope it's well received. I hope you guys dig it. Not full instrumentation. It's literally just me and my acoustic guitar. A little bit of reverb, and that's it. No other effects. no drums, no bass, no nothing. Just me and a guitar. And I hope you guys dig it. I hope you like the vibe. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much for your time. I hope you guys dig this conversation with Austin Thomason. I know I did. So here we go.
Hey,
Austin.
good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for doing the podcast. I appreciate it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, I see you're a pretty busy guy doing lots of writers rounds and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. You're out in California, is that right?
Yep, yeah, Orange County area.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I saw you on Instagram. I'm a guitar player myself, not as accomplished as you are. I'm more of a solo acoustic guy. I'm the guy in the bar doing the acoustic covers of the popular songs.
That's cool, yeah.
But you're more of a songwriter, I guess, and a bit of a, if I do say so myself, a little bit of a guitar prodigy, I think.
No, man, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I also noticed on your Instagram, you've got quite a few, I guess they're endorsements, right? Like Fender and JHS pedals and stuff like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, Fender, I'm actually endorsed by LA Vintage Gear,
Okay.
like officially, which is
Okay.
an amazing vintage shop in downtown, or not downtown LA, but in the LA area.
Yeah.
And we also have a proprietary line of guitars. And Fender and JHS are just like, when I was coming up, it's just been amazing encouragement. And like Fender, for instance, when I was around 11, I went to tour the Fender factory. And
Nice.
so the stars lined just so that we were allowed to see the custom shop.
Oh,
And
cool.
that just blew my mind when I was, that's just the coolest
Sure.
thing I could have seen. And long story short, the stars just aligned so that I was able to come back and tour the factory just myself with and just see how the process is made. And they took me through building a guitar.
Oh, wow.
And I'm still in disbelief to this day. But
That's
oh
cool.
man! And at the end, they surprised me by letting me keep the guitar, which was just,
Really? That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was mind-blowing experience. Yeah,
That's fantastic. Congratulations on that. That's amazing.
thank you. Yeah.
So you're a young guy. I think Instagram says you're 18. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So congratulations on getting as far as you have so far in your career, just at the young age of 18. That's amazing. When did you start? Where did your musical journey start?
Yeah, well, I think it started when I was 9.5, 10 years old, and I decided I wanted to start two things. I was like, okay, I want to kind of do more activities. So I was like, I'm going to start tackle football and learn a guitar.
Right.
And I ended up picking just one because I did not like football, unfortunately. But
I hear you.
yeah, and we just picked up this $100 like Squire starter kit at Moe's Music in Fullerton, and
Okay.
and it's just been, that's all from there. Like, and the more I played, like the more I was like very sure that this is what I want to do.
Nice. What did your practice routine kind of look like when you first started?
Yeah, I played a lot for sure. Like probably like 6 hours on average a day. Like
Yeah.
it was my main thing. Like, and I had the fortune of having amazing teachers when I was first starting out. Like Luke Villegas was a big one. Like when I first started out, he's actually a touring guitarist out there right now, killing it. And he's played with artists like Chappell Roan and people
wow.
like that. And yeah, he's great. And David Osborne, who I took lessons from, also.
Okay.
I was very hungry, especially for like theory and stuff. And that was unusual for these, like from the perspective of these teachers, like they weren't super used to that. So that was.
Did you immediately start trying to write your own music, or were you doing kind of the same cover tunes that everybody else learns when they first pick up the guitar?
It was a long road to original songwriting. I only started
Okay.
like 16, 15.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's only recently where I've been like, okay, like I'm actually, like it's a long road to like liking songs. You're right. It's a lot of,
Sure. I get that.
it's throwing stuff
Yeah.
at the wall, I discovered the blues from I was listening to I loved the White Stripes when I first
Okay.
started playing. That was my
Yep.
favorite band of all time. And
Mm-hmm.
my mom recognized that my favorite songs that White Stripes played were usually like blues covers, like Death Letter,
Right.
stuff like
Okay.
that.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then she turned me on to B.B. King, and I went down the rabbit hole of like Delta blues, like Son House, Robert Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
and that took me on the blues road for a very long time.
The stuff that you write now, is that kind of blues based? Like, how would you describe your music now? The stuff that you write.
Yeah, I'd say it's not as blues based as maybe I once played. Like, I've really gotten into artists like Jeff Buckley,
Mm-hmm.
um, John Mayer's early stuff, like his first album was a big
Yeah.
influence. And I don't know if you've heard of Chris Whitley.
I have not. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, he is probably my biggest influence right now as far as
Okay.
guitar playing. And he he's not super well known, especially in his time, but around like his album Dirt Floor, which released in the late '90s, which is just
Mm-hmm.
like him in front of a mic. He played mainly resonators, like do you
Oh,
know like
okay.
National stuff like that? And
Yes. Yep.
yeah, and it'd be too much for me to like go off in just this interview, but yeah, he's
It's
a big
okay.
one for me.
And I'm a big John Mayer fan myself. I've followed him ever since the beginning. So, you said you're kind of more influenced by his earlier stuff, right? So, is there anything in
Yeah,
particular about his earlier style that you dig more than kind of the later stuff?
yeah, I'd say like this his guitar playing back then was very rhythmic. I guess like
Okay.
Neon would be like the most extreme example
Sure,
for
sure.
sure.
Largely
But
known as the hardest guitar song to play ever.
I know, yeah, I'm still trying to crack that one. But yeah, and his album 3 by 5 was one of my
Yeah.
favorites, and it's one of those like train beat kind of rhythms that I
Hmm.
really liked, and really
Yeah.
cool
Very cool.
songwriting. It really paints a picture.
Yeah, yeah. That, I think that was probably what drew me to him in the beginning, because like you listen to his lyrics, and his lyrics, in at least in my opinion, I feel like they tell a very clear story. You can kind of picture what's happening. There's really not much room for interpretation in his lyric writing. I guess that's just my opinion, but
Yeah.
and then of course when the John Mayer trio came out, that album Try, that stuff that he does with Pino Palladino and Steve Jordan,
Oh
uh,
man, dude,
I
yeah.
mean, it's amazing. Yeah.
That's a huge one for me. That the song "Try" is like really underrated.
It
Really
is.
cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Cool. Cool. So, all right. So then where did it go after you got your first guitar, you got your Squire. Did you join any kind of bands? Were you ever in like the typical kind of cover band, or where did it go from there?
Yeah, I joined like I started in School of Rock, and I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you've heard about that, but it's kind of this like,
Yeah. Yep.
like schools where they kind of put kids together in bands, and
Mm-hmm.
that was definitely a good way for me to start because it got me on stage early, and I was
Nice.
kind of comfortable with that early on, but pretty soon I realized that I wouldn't like grow as a guitarist there, like they
Mm-hmm.
weren't really interested in teaching me theory and stuff, so then I went to private lessons from there. But
Oh,
I
okay. I
definitely
gotcha.
played, yeah, I definitely played cover bands when I was a kid with other kids, and that was fun. I even started a Green Day cover band when I was like
Oh, really?
12,
Nice.
14. Yeah, that was a lot of
Very
fun.
nice.
And
Yeah.
after that, like I went hard on the blues. Like I formed a trio and just kind
Mm-hmm.
of played a lot of blues covers, and then kind of gradually progressed as I started writing and discovering other music that I like to listen to where I am
Mm-hmm.
now.
Very cool. Very cool. How did you get involved with that vintage guitar shop that you said that you're officially endorsed by?
Yeah, well, I met them. I just walked into the shop. It's just really like some of the best vintage guitars out
Mm-hmm.
there, and like there are other vintage guitar shops where like most of the guitar stuff is kind of in the back. You can't really have access to
Sure.
it, but it's all there. Like
Yep.
I think they had like the same guitar that Robert Johnson played like from
Oh
that
wow.
time there,
Wow,
and
that's
that
crazy.
was yeah, and I know it was wild, and yeah, and the owner was just super nice, and he
Mm-hmm.
offered sponsorship when they just started making these guitars, and yeah, I was more than grateful to take up that offer.
Very cool. What's the name of the shop again?
LA Vintage Gear.
LA Vintage Gear. Great. What kind of gear are you playing then? Are you playing just are you exclusively Fender, or are you playing kind of whatever you want?
It's kind of eclectic. I've always been, as far as electric goes, partial to the Fender style guitars. Like
Mhm.
Gibson's great, though I haven't really connected to it the way I have with Fender, like a Tele or Stratocaster.
Yeah.
But I've also been playing very acoustically lately. I've been
Hmm.
enjoying like the kind of the feedback it gives me, for lack of a better term. Like
Okay.
it kind of this I guess the strength of the strings or the way that it resonates has been, I guess, resonates with me, you know.
Yep. Yep. No
But
pun intended.
I know, no, no, not at all, not at all. And
Oh, that's great.
yeah, and also I play an amazing mule resonator.
Oh, really? I fiddled around with a resonator one time in Nashville. I've never really kind of embraced the resonator. Do you play one a lot?
Yeah, I do. I think like especially after I listen to Chris Whitley, because
Okay.
I feel like the resonator can easily be pinned down as like exclusively blues or
Yeah.
slide guitar, and while Chris Whitley has a lot of blues influence, like he definitely kind of brings it to a new space, even like alternative. Like he'd play like straight up rock on a
Oh,
resonator, like
really?
plugged in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I've never, because you're right. I mean, my impression of a resonator is just really kind of that blues delta, or even just like, grassroots kind of bluegrass type stuff. What kind of acoustic are you playing then? Like if you're out playing an acoustic gig, I've seen a few posts on Instagram. What are you playing for your acoustic?
Yeah, I play this Martin that's been
Nice.
in my family for a couple years. I think it was just the guitar of the house before I even started playing. And it's just I don't think it's just I've it's been my favorite for a really long time.
Mm,
Yeah, just super rhythmic and
sounds great.
deep, and yeah, I'm
Awesome.
enjoying it.
Awesome. Yep. When you write, do you write primarily on acoustic then?
Yeah, it's been my go-to. Like it's
Hmm.
nice. It's like very it's no matter where I go, I can expect the same sound from where I
Yeah,
wrote it,
sure.
you know?
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
that's yeah, it's been great. And as I'm starting to put together a band like with
Oh,
these
nice.
songs. So like
Cool.
now I'm like, okay, like how is the acoustic gonna sound in a band setting?
Hmm.
Which is
Hmm.
like my next like experiment, but yeah,
Right. Right.
see where it goes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think you do have a few songs, a few songs released, right? I couldn't. Apologies, I couldn't really find them on Spotify or Apple.
No, they're yeah.
They're just on your website, right?
Well, yeah, actually, well, they're just on my Instagram. Usually, the latest ones I've written, and
Oh, okay.
I wanna record like later this year. That's like
Okay.
my next goal. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Now, when you record, is that something that you're going to record on your own, or do you plan on going into a studio?
I plan on going to a studio. I think
Hmm.
like that's kind of my next. I'm finding like looking for producers, like getting like finding people I know and doing that whole thing. And I'm just like it's my sound has been very stripped down so far. So I'm like finding all these people and sounds like kind of starting from the ground up, which
Right.
I think actually might be a good thing because it kind of gives me a blank canvas.
Sure. Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there any? I mean, obviously, you want to sound like yourself, right? But like, if
Yeah.
you were to go into a studio and a producer says, what are we trying to accomplish?" Right? Are you who? What other musicians would you give as an example?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've one of my favorite albums of all time is Grace by Jeff Buckley. And
Oh, nice.
I definitely
Hmm.
wouldn't put myself up there, but that the sound of that album and like have you heard Last Goodbye?
I have not. No. Mm-mm.
I have not. Well, the song starts with this like atmospheric slide guitar,
Okay.
and it just starts with that, and the bass comes in, and that whole like kind of it's almost like an orchestral way to approach playing because it's just all these different instruments and sounds.
I have to admit, I'm not. I haven't listened to a whole lot of Jeff Buckley. I mean, obviously, there's his version of Hallelujah that the whole world knows, right?
Right? Yeah.
But outside of that, I haven't really gone down the Jeff Buckley rabbit hole. So, what is it about Jeff Buckley's sound that you? I mean, can you kind of describe it for me?
Yeah, totally. I mean, very like emotionally connected, especially with his vocals. Like, I don't think there's a better singer I've ever heard, especially for his style of music. Like, it's wild. It's out of this world. Yeah. It's a shame. Like, I feel born too early for all the artists I like. It's such a shame.
I assume your parents are supportive of your musical career, especially since you started so young. So, do you have other musicians in your family?
Yeah, well, my parents aren't super musical, though they've played, like, I've always grown up, like, my mom would sing us to sleep and play like a little bit ukulele and stuff like that when we were little.
Nice.
But
Yep.
my great grandpa was a musician, like
Okay.
my mom's grandfather, and yeah, and he passed away like I think 6 years ago, and he left me his guitar, which was just
Oh, nice.
a massive honor. It was a 1946 Martin, and he played a lot of. I know, yeah,
That's
yeah,
fantastic, dude.
I know,
Fantastic.
and he played mainly folk, especially around the 60s, and that
Hmm.
was his thing. He played half steel and half nylon
Really?
strings, which is actually how Willie Nelson
Oh,
played.
had no idea. That's interesting. So,
Yeah, it's a really
which strings were steel and which strings were nylon?
the bottom, like the E, A, D were
Hmm.
steel, and the other half was nylon.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's cool. Is there any particular reason why your great grandfather or Willie Nelson would do that? Is it just a tonality thing?
Yeah, I think it brings a really warm sound while also having the like presence of the bottom strings with the steel,
Mm-hmm. Yep. We've talked about Martin quite a bit. Have you ever toured the factory in Pennsylvania, the Martin factory?
I want to so bad.
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
just like an amazing time.
I highly recommend it. I did it. I don't know, 2 years ago. Yeah, 2023, I think. How did the tour of the Fender factory come around?
I think we posted my first tour on Instagram, and
Mm-hmm.
I was just super enthusiastic. I think I was the most excited person there, and I guess they just kind of connected with that and were
Oh, okay.
enjoyed. I guess my energy as a
Nice.
little starry-eyed kid, just looking,
Nice.
and to this day, I'm just insanely grateful. Like
Yeah.
I'm words fail me, but
So you said you got to watch the process of the guitar being built. It was a Fender Strat, like custom shop Strat, or was it Telecaster? What kind of guitar was that?
it was a Strat, yeah,
Okay.
and super handmade, like every step of the way you can see people just putting it together every part of the process. And the relicking was really interesting because
Yeah.
like see all the like chemicals and stuff they put on the rag to like green the pick guard or like
Mm-hmm.
do whatever, like basically to get the like little nicks and stuff like in the
Yeah. Yeah.
paint. They basically
Yep.
take this like almost like keys basically, like this
Right.
clump of metal, and they just like bang it against the they which comes out looking realistic. So
Sure. Sure. How's that guitar play and sound? Is it like amazing or what?
amazing.
Well, how about pedal wise? Like, what are you using for your rig? Do you have a big pedal board or what?
Yeah, I'd say I have a medium-sized pedal board. I've been really
Mhm.
enjoying like, do you know the detune setting on the whammy?
I think
There's
so.
like a
I've heard of
on
it
the
before. I've
whammy,
never
yeah,
played one. Hmm.
yeah. So the whammy, how it works is like you can either do octaves, and there's like a pedal that
Hmm.
would bring it like lower octave to higher octave,
Oh, okay. Yep.
and
Yep.
one of the settings is like a detune, which basically sounds like a chorus kind of sound, and I've been enjoying that a lot, especially on the resonator because it kind of like
Nice.
the jangly nature of the resonator kind of brings that out in a
Hmm.
good way. And I've also really enjoyed the Crimson by JHS Pedals, which is a kind of a big muff
Okay.
sort of sound. It's based on a Russian version of the big muff. I
Oh,
forget what
really?
it's called, but yeah, it's really cool. Like it's very like Soviet era sort of like technology.
Oh,
It's
okay.
cool.
All right.
Mm.
Nice. So the Big Muff, I refresh my memory. That's like an overdrive pedal, right?
Yeah, it's like a fuzz, like kind of an overdrivey fuzz.
Most of my audience is musicians, obviously. Quite a few songwriters. I know a lot of my listeners are interested in the writing process. Like when you sit down and you write a song, is it do chords come first? Do lyrics come first? Is it a hook, or is it do you wake up with something in your head, or do you just commit time to sitting down and say, all right, I'm gonna take the next hour or two to write a song. So I guess my next question is like, what does your process look like when you're going to write?
Yeah, it took a lot of time to hone in, honestly, and I'm still improving, hopefully, but yeah, I mean, I think now, like, it definitely starts with guitar, like a riff that I'm really liking. And I
Okay.
play in a lot of alternative tunings, so it definitely takes time to just mess around and find sounds until I kind of
Sure.
lock in on something. And then from there, I just kind of play the riff and just sing over it and try and find a melody or lyrics that kind of connect
Yep.
to that. And yeah, and I use the Notes app. Like, I'm sort of starting to mess around with handwritten
Okay.
songs, but just being able to like take a whole section, copy it, and move it to another place, like that's
Yeah.
pretty that's pretty helpful. And I messed around with other softwares of stuff, but honestly, the simplicity of like voice memos and
Mm-hmm.
like I have a library of like I probably have thousands of little voice memos of just like ideas and stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Even just
Yeah, a
like
lot of us do.
yeah, even I'd be in the shower and I'd get like a melody, and then I'd like
Mm-hmm.
poke my head out, grab my phone, and like
Yeah, you got to get it when the inspiration comes, right? Or else it's going to be gone.
oh yeah, totally.
Every musician I talk to, everybody talks about how they got hundreds of voice memos or hundreds of notes in their notes pad on their phones, and I just wonder like how many of those, if they've ever been worked through, how many of them could be that one global hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
With all the voice memos, there's got to be a number one hit in there somewhere that may never see the light of day.
It's true. Yeah, like you're gonna give me an existential crisis now. I'm gonna be
I'm sorry.
laying up. I'm gonna be staring at the ceiling at night, just like turn on my phone, scroll through.
Yeah, right. You never know. Who knows? You might stumble across one from like a couple of years ago and work through it. Who knows? Where can people find you, like on all your social?
Yeah, Instagram is definitely the main one.
Okay,
Like I'd say if you want to find my stuff, like Instagram is the way to go for sure. And that's
gotcha.
Austin on guitar on
Austin on
Instagram.
guitar. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And what's your I don't know if this is a weird question or not, but what's your music career look like now? Like, does it consist of primarily just writing and doing shows, or are you also giving lessons and like what are all the things that you've got going on as far as music?
Yeah, I'm in kind of like an in-between space, I'd kind of say, like going from kind of guitar person, like blues, rock, and then coming into writing, I've kind of like, it always felt like what I was going to do, but I've also had to adjust
Mm-hmm.
like into a different kind of like path, I guess. And so now like it's just really honing my songwriting, playing out a ton, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like the writers rounds have been great because it's getting me in front of other writers and I can get feedback and
Sure.
get inspiration from other people writing near me and kind of from my peers. And yeah, and then now I'm just like getting to record, and finding
Yeah.
my album sound and the
Mm-hmm.
producer that I want to do it with, and it's really exciting. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
very
Awesome.
yeah.
Do you do any co-writing or have you not tried that yet?
I have not tried that yet, though. It's very
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Like I want to like get in touch with people and like figure it out. I've heard it's
Mm-hmm.
like a whole different beast. Like
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I'm no expert. I rarely ever do it, but I have talked to quite a few songwriters in Nashville just doing this podcast, and because Nashville is all about co-writing.
Because I'm always like fighting against my own brain to get ideas out because there's always like they say you're like your worst critic, but like there are multiple critics in your head, all with different
Sure.
opinions.
Yep, that's
And
true.
you kind of got to work through that fog to get stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
usually once it's on paper, you're like, actually that pretty much works. Maybe I'll just stick with that, even though I had like
Mm-hmm.
problems with it before.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I found with one of my songs, well, maybe most of them, the more I play it, the more it starts to sound like a real song. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm not a super experienced writer, so a lot of times I have like imposter syndrome. Like I'll write a song and be like, this sucks, but then the more I play it, the more I kind of fall in love with it. So do you have anything like that, or when you write something, you're like, no, that's awesome, I love it.
yeah. Well, it's kind of a mix. Like sometimes I can start writing something. It's like this is awesome. I love it, and like I play it the next day and I don't like it as much, but then I play it the day after that, and it's like, this is the best song I've ever written, you know. But
Yep.
the imposter syndrome is real, definitely. Like, especially when you're starting out. Like, there's a quote from Ed Sheeran that's kind of stuck in my head. He says, like, it's like turning on a faucet and like all the rusty water comes out, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta let that clear out before, you know.
Yeah,
But
you gotta write all the shit, right? Write the
yeah,
bad
totally.
songs so the good ones come out. Yeah, I totally believe that too. Yeah, that's great. Oh, I wanted to talk a little bit about alternative tunings, right? Because you said you do it a lot. I'm curious as to kind of what you're doing with it. I have one song, and it's an instrumental song that's not even recorded yet, but it's in open E. Tell me a little bit about your experiences with writing or playing in open tunings.
Yeah, maybe I'll pick up my guitar for this one.
Yeah, please.
I definitely like feel like having like a tuning and only knowing one song and wanting another, like to play in that tuning. Like, for instance, like this tuning is from a song by Chris Whitley called Loco Girl.
Okay.
And I really like that song, but I didn't want to just do that tuning once and then having to retune and pick up a different guitar.
Yep.
And so I have like 3 other songs that I've written in this tuning.
Nice. What tuning is it?
Yeah, so it doesn't have a name, but
Okay.
if I remember correctly, it's D, G, D, G sharp, F, and then D again.
Oh wow,
And
that's
so
pretty bonkers.
I love it so much. It's my favorite tuning right now.
Nice.
Because the best part about it, because since these strings are only 1/2 step apart, if I play this, it's the doubled same note.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And I can like bend one of the strings and like.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And and like I took that bending idea to this riff. Anyway.
Nice. Yeah.
And yeah, it's great. Like alternate tunings, and again, like going down the Chris Whitley rabbit hole. Like almost every one of his songs is using a different tuning, which makes it sound amazing, but also hard to learn because and perform because like if like I see videos like can you like just change the tuning in like 5 seconds on stage, which is like crazy. And also Nick Drake. I don't know if you've heard him.
I've heard the name. I'm not sure I've heard any of his music before.
Yeah, but his album Pink Moon was a big influence on me as well. And
cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, alternate tunings are great.
Yeah, what other aside from this one, this Chris Whitley one, what other tunings have you kind of experimented with? Any of them?
Yeah, open D, open G, you know, kind of standard ones. Like I've written a few songs in open G where it's like in like the tuning is open G, but the key is like D. Okay. Because like I just enjoy the way the guitar plays in open G, but I wanted to like use that bottom string, and so that makes it, you know, in the key of D. So yeah, and you know, it doesn't actually feel super impressive from my point of view because it actually feels like I'm cheating a little bit because playing in standard, like there's so many patterns and stuff that I already know that all my songs in that tuning would just kind of sound boring. Sure. You know, just kind of same major progressions, and so if I like just wipe the slate clean and play in tuning, like I can get a lot of different sounds and stuff that I wouldn't reach for.
Right. Well, I mean, that's kind of what it's all about, right? Creating something for whatever moment, you know. You don't have to like, you know, invent something completely new, but if you're looking for a certain vibe or a certain feeling for a particular song or a moment, you know, then alternative tunings are probably a good way to kind of get out of a rut and things like that too. Yeah, totally. Yep. What do you like to do when you're not playing music? What do you do in your spare time? Yeah, well, I enjoy. I have 2 younger siblings, so we hang out a lot. We have a lot of fun doing that. I play video games. I work out. I enjoy it. I've enjoyed fitness for quite a lot of years, and my siblings actually they've run like my sister's run like a few half marathons. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, which is crazy. Which she trains for that, and
my little brother is like just getting on it too. He's doing like 5Ks and stuff, and they're like
Nice.
asking me like, "You should run too," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, maybe I will."
I think running is something that you either really like it or it's just not for you. You know what I mean?
It's true. Yeah, I guess I have to
don't
try.
think. Yeah, I don't think there's an in between. You know, you can't be like,
Yeah.
well, I sometimes like to run 5 miles. No, it's either you run 5 miles a day or you don't.
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
The scene out in LA, or I assume you're in the LA area, right? Like Studio City stuff like that. That's all the LA area, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what's that scene like? The music scene, is it? I mean, I've talked to other artists from LA, and they've kind of given me their impression of all that. I'm just curious as to how you see it. Describe the LA scene for me, if you will.
Yeah, sure. Like Southern California, like that's definitely where it's happening, Like all the musicians play there, and like you get it's interesting. Like a lot of musicians are moving out to Nashville nowadays. Like you see that more and more, especially in like, blues and country, those kind of, and singer-songwriters as well, like because there's a huge scene out there, but it's definitely still a thing here. Like there's all sorts of bars, and I play the Baked Potato.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you've heard that. Yeah, the Baked
have,
Potato.
yep.
That's definitely my favorite venue of
Cool.
the area. Like people are great, and I don't think there's a single other place in LA where you can get a potato the size of a football loaded with cheese.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
That sounds
yeah.
like the perfect post gig meal right there.
Oh, definitely. Oh, it's
Yep.
nothing better. Yeah. If you do it before, it'll like debilitate the vocal cords.
Yeah, right. You can't
yeah.
have it before for sure. Yep, it has to be afterwards. But what do your gigs look like? I mean, as a solo acoustic cover guy, I'm playing the 3-hour gigs, Fridays, Saturdays, and sometimes Sundays. I occasionally host an open mic. But like, what do your gigs look like? I've seen the post about writers rounds, but like I think on your calendar you've got a few things. Like you're playing a blues festival, right? Or at least a couple of them, I think. So what's that set look like? Is it all original music for you, or are you playing covers as well?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm in like a transitional period. So I'm like, as I'm writing a ton, like I'm kind of knocking them out. Like I've done a couple acoustic like hour shows, like pretty much just playing originals, and
Nice.
I've done like back then like blues trio, like playing a lot of blues songs, like usually covers, like a few originals. Like I like to do like original versions of songs that already exist, kind of like changing the riff a little bit and kind of doing my own spin at it. But I'm gonna get a band together pretty soon and get all these originals like band ready and start playing. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that sounds great. Awesome. Are you going to do a couple of songs for us today?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Before we get to that, is there any? I want to make sure we don't miss anything, right? Like if there's anything that after we hang up, I don't want you to be like, crap, I wanted to talk about this. So, is there anything else you wanted to kind of let my audience know about, or anything else you wanted to promote, or just whatever? Now's your time.
Yeah. Well, I think all I can say is stay tuned for new music released, and my
Nice.
Instagram is Austin on Guitar to see all that. I have a website, austinthomasonmusic.com, and you can check out my stuff there.
Awesome. What songs are you going to do for us?
I'm going to do my song called True and Last Dance.
Okay. What is True about, if you don't mind me asking?
It's one of my more vague songs, I think I'd say, but definitely some like, I guess, environmental imagery, stuff like that. Just it's kind of one of those songs that I just kind of started writing and kind of took a step back and kind of was like, I'll sing this more and see what it's about,
Okay, awesome. And then, I'm sorry, what'd you say the second one was?
Last Dance.
Last Dance. What's that about?
Yeah, it's sort of about a relationship that's like definitely like it's over, like it's kind of on the downhill, but like you kind of just want to forget about that for at least a little bit,
Sure.
kind of act like it was before.
All right, awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing them. So,
Thanks, yeah.
Austin, thank you very much for doing the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, this has been great. All right. This is called True. Ground below is shaking. The earthquake pays its dues. For you, there is no faking. And if you wanted to, it's true. And if you wanted to, it's true. If you wanted to. The sky above is crying. You wipe away the tears. For you, there is no dying. And in the endless years, don't fear. In the endless years, don't fear. In the endless years. Land around is burning, and ashes choke the sky. For you, there is no learning. The dark can't teach the blind. It's true. And if you wanted to, it's true. If you wanted to.
All right. Nice, man. Nice. Really nice.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. All right. Whenever you're ready for the second one, give us a quick intro and go right into it.
Yeah, this is a song called Last Dance. When I know that it's over, I have shown to remember all the days that were better than when it may be our goodbye. Just let me say, you know just why I have to hold all of that time so close. And this is our last dance. This is our last dance. This is our last dance. Yeah. One last kiss, like we used to. Just make me miss when I knew you. Just let me in before you let me go. In your eyes, find the answer. No disguise, I'm falling faster. In love with you, though you're no longer in you. And this is all I did. This is all I did. This is all I did. Yeah. And we can't run till we can't anymore. And this is all I did. This is all I did. This is all I did.
All right. Nice, man. Nice.
Thank you.
I love it. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks again for doing the podcast. I appreciate it.
Yeah, totally. Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Austin. Have a good day.
You too.
All right.